Hello friends. I've noticed that during this time, some of you don't pay close attention to certain parts of the tutorial or you skip them. If you want to fully learn the Blender software in the upcoming sections, please make sure to watch every single part. Watch each part before moving on to the next because you need to practice to really learn so you don't get stuck in the later sections. In this session, I want to teach you something. We have a few ready-made objects and I'll show you how to delete objects or how to add to the same object or to another object. Well, unlike previous sessions where I had a lot of objects here, this time I want to delete my objects and actually work together with you. To bring an object into the scene, you need to select the Add option in Object Mode. For example, you can add a plane, I'll show you a sample, or select a cube from the Mesh section. We'll be working a lot with the Mesh section, or you can use the Circle option, which gives me a wireframe circle, or from the option UV Sphere, which creates a sphere for me, or the Icosphere option, which actually gives a segmented circle, and I can use the cylinder, cone, or torus options, or the monkey option. Let me explain the monkey first. If we have worked with the software, like Tired Max, he created a ready-made shear for you in Tired Max, which is like music in Blender. This ready-made software has been created with a name that it has been named after, Susan. Now, if I right-click and smooth it, it'll get a bit softer. Let's see. Okay, now I'll rotate it towards this side to fill it in. Interestingly, you should also know that every year Blender holds festivals, or in fact showcases, or those same festivals. They've created a symposium for the sections where they want to give out awards, and they've named it Suzanne, meaning that from that festival they give out an award called Suzanne. Okay. In the Add menu, I press Ctrl+Z on Suzanne. Besides being able to add a mesh, you can also add a texture. We can create a texture or add a light to it, like creating a light and assigning it to this part, or actually I can also add a camera to it, which I can create as well. Well, there's another section too, which we'll get to more later. The armature section in the armature part. Actually, I'm zooming in so you can see it completely. Well, the armature is for keyframing and animating, which you use after you've created your character. With the armature, you can move it, and in future sessions that are specifically about animation and keyframing, this will be explained in full. Here I just showed it to you so you can see what it is. Okay, to delete, we have three options. One is to right-click on the selected item and choose delete. Another convenient way is to simply use the dedicated delete key on your keyboard, or you can alternatively press the X key and then carefully choose to delete it. If I press X and then select delete, I can delete it. Now, how do we select all of these in object mode? By holding A, all parts will be selected, and you can press X and then hit the delete button. Alright, let's go back to its section again. Here I add a mesh, a cube. Let me take a moment to make a few important divisions here for a minute so that you can fully and completely understand this concept. Okay. So, for each individual part that I have meticulously created, if we were to go into the dedicated edit mode and then subsequently wish to completely delete it, what do? First, let me talk about these. 1. Vertex, 2. Edge, and 3. Face. Set your keyboard to 1. It goes to the vertex. By holding G, you can move its vertices around. The next option is edge or line. By selecting the edge, you can move these parts around. Okay? I'll press Ctrl+S. The third option is face. By selecting the face, you can move the faces around. Alright, the shortcut key. These three distinct elements are 1, 2, and 3. So for example, if I press the number 1, it specifically goes to the vertex selection mode. And then if I press the number 2, it goes to edge. If I press 3, it goes to faces. By selecting the face and pressing G, you can move it. Otherwise, you can use the move option. By carefully selecting the specific edge, I can also effortlessly move it using the convenient move option, or alternatively, I can simply press the G shortcut key for quick manipulation. By selecting the specific vertex, I can effectively do the same operation. Alright, now let's thoroughly talk about deleting elements as well, everyone. When you're on the face, press the delete key on your keyboard. If you select face edge, you'll see it deletes everything completely for me. Now if I press delete, go to edge, select this edge and hit delete edge. It selects these two for me because it picks the center of the two edges and deletes them. Now if I do it again, go to vertex and press the delete and vertex buttons. It's completely gone. You see it selects from both the top and bottom. Basically, the parts that are connected to the vertex in this section get selected for me. Alright, now let's move on to edge. If I want to merge these two together, when I press the delete button and then use dissolve edge, it merges these two together. If I want to, again, let's say come to the face mode and then proceed to dissolve the selected face, actually dissolve the face completely. Look closely. If I carefully select these two distinct faces, the dissolve face function will effectively merge them together for me. And if I then wish to go back to the initial option 1 and say for instance I want to revert to the previous state, if I select this and this, I can use disable vertex and it will merge these for me. But since it hasn't selected those upper vertex lines, that's why it's from this part, right? Keep this in mind. Again, I'm saying when you want to individually delete vertex edges, use the options. If you delete from edge face, you can use the options to merge them as you want. With vertex, you can precisely select disable vertex, disable edge, and disable face. This powerful functionality allows for very specific and detailed manipulation of your 3D models. Okay, so let me now create another brand new cube and then subsequently add a loop to it. This will demonstrate how these tools can be effectively utilized, okay? Now, let's go over the rest of the delete options. I'll go to face. I select this, and when I press delete, there's a section called edge loop, as you can see. It deleted the parts where I had made loops, or actually had separated them. Now let's continue with this. Look, I select the face, and when I choose the collapse edge and face option, it deletes it for me. And it arranges it in the different ways that have been created. Now I'll try it on this one too, so you can see. For example, I select these 4. To select multiple items, you need to hold down Shift in case you want to select several objects or faces. Okay, in this section, I choose collapse edge into face. Watch. This one worked too. Now let me press Ctrl+Z a few times. Okay, now here we press the delete button. Only face, only the face was deleted. Now if I want to press delete again, I should select only edge and face. You can see that now it selected the face for me and the edges that are on the image section remain. Now I'll try it on this one too so you can see. It selected it for us. Okay, so let me tell you a point here. Let me switch to object mode. By pressing tab, you can switch between these two. One moment, okay, I press tab, select everything and hit delete. Now a single cube. I created. In the cube section that I just created, let's move on to this part where we want to talk to each other. What is the origin? In the anchor point section, there's also a circle. I hold Shift and right click to move this anchor point. Just so you know, don't think the origin belongs to this part. there's a coordinate right in the middle of your cube section. Actually, it's that same yellow dot that's placed on the object. Basically, any changes you make are based on that origin. Keep in mind, if I want to make some changes here, make some adjustments. You see, it animates based on that origin point. For example, if I want to create a cube, it places it exactly on its origin, right where that anchor point is. Again, if I create a cylinder, you see, it places it right there and works accordingly. All your objects have an origin, and later on, as you work, you'll realize that moving this origin is based on the anchor point you set beforehand. So remember, whenever you create any part and want it to be in a specific place, just Shift plus right click to set your anchor point, move it to the right spot, and then create your mesh there so it sits exactly where you want it. Okay, well, that's enough for this session on this topic. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial and found it helpful. If you're new to my channel, please do me a favor. Support me, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of my future tutorials.